Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to walk you through my current workflow of working in Cinema 4D as well as working in After Effects and how you can link Cinema 4D into After Effects so that you can work in both programs simultaneously. So I'm going to walk you through my current workflow of how you can do this for yourself. So how you can create, different kinds of 3D squares or any kind of 3D design and then import that into After Effects and then also use some various plugins that's provided by Maxon 1 using Glow, also using Magic Bullet Looks. So in this video I'm going to walk you through, my current workflow and how you can really enhance your videos with this workflow. So if you do like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.
Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to walk you through my process of how I created this 3D animation video. I actually learned this technique from Stylecraft, so definitely check out Stylecraft. It's a program or a course online that kind of walks you through different processes of animation and a 3D animation in particular, and basically motion design. It's in a course, but also it has, I guess a community as well. And so in this video, I just wanted to demonstrate how you can create a 3D kind of cool look like this, and then you can put it into After Effects, and then export it from After Effects, as well as adding a few different adjustment layers that help you kind of give you a cool look. So if you can see here in After Effects, this is the final render. So it's this kind of 3D motion in 2 seconds, right? And it kind of repeats. And I guess it has nice lines. The lines match up at certain points. I created this a few different layers, which I'll go into later. But the first step is to show you is here you see there's this 3D, this is where I create the 3D cube. And it only lasts, let's see here, 48 frames because it's a 24 frame per second. So what you first want to do is you would want to open up a new project, and you want to ensure that, let me see here, you want to go into edit and project settings. And then you want to ensure that's 24 frames per second in a 48 frame timeline. And then what you first want to do is you're going to create a square. And I'm not going to go into exactly how I create this cube, but just to kind of demonstrate how you can create cool lines like this and then generate it into After Effects. So if you just take the first square here, you're going to create a material, and that material is going to turn off color, and then you're going to turn on luminance. And you can copy my settings here, but brightness 100% and it's white. And then I went to alpha, and I turned on alpha. And in the texture here, I went down here, and I went into effects and created proximal right here, and click that, right? And then also made the blur scale minus 100%. And that's what allowed me to create this cool 3D cube. And I made it to a null, and I made two other smaller cubes once I made that main cube. And then I rotated it by creating the coordinates of the null. And I changed, so I rotated it by, I think it's 45, and turned by 180 here. And then I also, I think, animated these as well. See, and the size here, if you want to copy this, is 1. The medium is 0.5, and then the small one is 0.015. And as you see here, the cube, animates. And then what you're going to do is then once you created that 3D cube or something similar, what you're going to do is you're going to After Effects, and then you're going to click Import, File, and then you're going to find your Cinema 4D file, right? So let me look here. Where is it? Moving cubes. Yeah, okay, it's moving cubes. So you import that, and then you drop that onto your comp, in a make sure it's 4K, or I guess in this situation I made it 1080 by 1080, and I made it in a 24 frame comp. But basically, once you drop it on your comp, it's going to automatically create Cineware by Maxon. So what you're going to do is you're moving cubes, and then you drop it into your comp, and then it's automatically going to generate Cineware. And it gives you multiple options here, but in this case, I'm going to just do the current, and that gives me, I'm going to turn this off, this other one. It gives me this, it basically generates it in After Effects. I'm not going to go into all the details of all this. In another video, I will cover how you can create actually, using the viewport here, you can actually create a wireframe. And a wireframe's cool because you can, just generate some different looks. But in this situation, I'm just going to keep with current. And I'm just going to show you what are some of the effects, the look and the noise I added to this clip. So in terms of the effects, I use Red Giant, Universe, and also Black Magic Bullet. And the first thing in order to get this look is I use Universe Glow. And so you can dial it into your own look, but I believe I lowered the intensity a bit, but that gave me this cool kind of glow look. And then in terms of my look, I used first Magic Bullet looks, and I used this, I think it was maybe, Chrono Steel here. And that allowed, but I dialed it back a little bit to 27. I think it's, subtler is the better. Then I did Mojo. Mojo gives you kind of a film look, and I dialed it back as well with the strength. And then finally I added, this Universe VHS. So that's what allows you to kind of generate these cool, kind of 80s vibe, like you're watching a VHS, right? And what else to show you? And then finally the noise is I add a renoiser, and I just created some image vitamins just to add a little bit of noise to the project. And one other thing to show you is, another tip I got from Stylecraft is to create a gradient map. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a gradient, and just like your gradient, I can't spell today, gradient, no. So you're going to create a gradient ramp, and then you're going to drop it on your 3D cube, and see how it kind of subtly changes colors in these different areas. So what you want to do is, you want your start color maybe to be, let's say you wanted to make it purple, right? And let's say it's kind of this bright purple. So that's what's the start color. And then let's say you want a nice pink. And then see, that kind of creates a subtle look, right? Because you could just, go in here and I think one of the tips that in Stylecraft shows you is that, subtler or just having a little bit of, difference is better. But, you could just drop tint on here and then change it to purple. But in this way, you can kind of see there's some subtleties, especially when it rotates. It's going to create a cool effect, right? And yeah, that's basically the setup in terms of how to link After Effects with using Cineware to Cinema4D. You can change the different criteria here, but then you can go, as long as you save your work, it will generate back into After Effects, link it, and then you can add different adjustment layers to add your own look to it. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to create an animated background in Cinema4D, and then adding that to After Effects to create a cool look in After Effects. So in order for me to start off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, let's see here, a pyramid. I'm going to scale this pyramid down. I'm going to generate, let's see here, a platonic, and I'm going to change that platonic to, let's see here, object to, Bucky. And I'm going to scale that down. And what else to show you? One more, let's add maybe 2 more. So I'm gonna add a pill. I'm gonna scale that down as well. Gonna get it close to the same size, and maybe I'll do. Have I done a pyramid? I've done a pyramid. I guess it's a cone. How about maybe a cylinder? And scale that down. And then what I'm going to do is, I might up the segments in some of these, just to kind of create a little bit of a sharper look. And let's see here. And then what you're going to do next is then create a cloner, and then you're going to make these, a child of the cloner. So like that. And then in the cloner, you're going to change the mode to, I guess, linear. And then the count, you can, I guess, up the count to 34. Well, let's see, actually here. Let's just do it 4. And then offset is, well, I'll just wait here. What I want to do is space it out a bit. Okay, there you go. That's a honeycomb. So that's what I want. So this is kind of giving the first look of the background, right? And what I want to do is then maybe just duplicate this once. You could do it probably twice, but I'm just going to keep it simple. And then I'm going to just offset this by a little bit. And I might, move it up a bit. And something like that, right? And then I'm going to zoom in my camera, just my default camera, and something like that, all right? And then I could just simply animate these coordinates. I'm going to make it 240 frames, and I'm going to start the coordination of this first cloner. Let's see here, with just maybe some movement on the y-axis, and then I'm going to keyframe those, but I'm going to also make sure, let's see here, I'm going to make sure that it's linear. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to go to animation and show F curve, and let's see here. So I'm going to select here, animate show F curve. So that is, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to make it an L curve, like that, right? So that it animates linearly, not slowing down and then speeding up kind of thing. So with the second cloner, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the playhead at the beginning, and using Y, I'm going to generate, going the opposite direction maybe. Let's see here. So yeah, and then I'm going to make sure that's keyframed, and it's just going to, like I said, look like that, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ensure that the animation is linear. So I'm going to go into show F curve. I'm going to select these points here, and then I'm going to just click here, so it's linear. And this way, basically the animation is going to look like this, right? I'm going to save my work. So in this case, I made a 3D animation background. And then when you go into After Effects, you're going to do, I guess, a new comp, and make sure you save your work. But a new comp, this I'm just gonna do a 4K timeline. 20. I guess maybe I should make it 24. Well, 23 frames would be fine. Let's see here. I'm gonna call this. What's the date today? The 5th. Animated background. And that's going to create a 4K timeline. And then I'm going to import my file, my Cinema4D file. And let's see, what is it called here? So it's 3D moving cubes, right? Actually, no, wait, there it is, 3D animated background. And what that's going to do is going to generate Cineware, creating a link between the files in my Cinema4D and in my After Effects. And then in order for me to see it, I'm going to click current, and I'm going to make sure that, let's see here, this is only 7, well, I guess that's good enough. So 7 seconds long. So I'm going to, so you can see that it does animate in After Effects. My computer, you know, it has to load and render first, but that's just to show you that, you know, with a simple kind of look here in Cinema4D, using 2 cloners with a basic animation, using a linear animation. But okay, so now we have a background that's animating, right? And what I did is I made it current, the render, and what you can then add is different adjustment layers. I also added node 3, but in this example I'm just going to talk about some kind of maybe suggestions for you to create a cool kind of look. So let's just create 3 adjustment layers, and these adjustment layers I'm going to call one of them, let's see here, FX. I'm going to, the other one, let's call it maybe the look. And then the third adjustment layer, let's call it I guess just noise. And the effects, what I'm going to do is going to use Red Giant's Glow. So by searching glow here, I'm going to just drop glow on to the layer here. And that's already going to kind of create a cool glow look. You can, you know, create any kind of, using any of the presets. Let's maybe use maybe optical noise, that kind of cool look. Well, that's, no, I don't really like that. It's maybe too much. I'm gonna go back. Maybe it's just the highlights. Or horizontal spectrum. Well, sometimes just the basics are the best, so let's see here. Blue tint, that's kind of cool. So you could also maybe add chromatic glow. Or sorry, actually I want to look into another effect. If you go into stylize, you could add like a VHS look. And that kind of creates this like almost 80s vibe. You could maybe change it a bit around by, let's see, make it a clean VHS, a little more subtle. And then let's say that we're going to start creating a look. So what I do is I use Red Giant Magic Bullet looks, and then I'll just add that to this adjustment layer. I will open up the Magic Bullet looks. I'm going to just keep it simple. I'm going to use this Chrono Steel, and maybe I'll change the vignette around a little bit. I will then go back to After Effects. I'll dial the strength back a bit, and then I'm going to add Mojo. So Mojo's here, Mojo 2. I'm going to add that to that layer. I'm going to create video, and maybe just dial it back to, let's say, like maybe 25. And then with noise, I'm just going to add a renoiser using magic bullet looks here, renoiser. And then I'm going to maybe just put some image vitamins in it. So then you basically have this animated video or background that I guess has a bit of an 80s vibe.